Welcome to War Bios, the podcast where we delve into the intricacies of military history's most pivotal battles. I'm your host, General Biography, and today we're going to explore one of World War II's most overlooked yet decisive engagements, the Battle of El Guettar. This battle, fought in the sun-scorched hills of Tunisia from March 23 to April 3, 1943, was a crucial turning point in the North African campaign. To understand the significance of El Guettar, we must first examine the events that led to this pivotal battle. The Allied invasion of Morocco and Algeria on November 8, 1942, marked the beginning of the end for Axis forces in North Africa. As American and British troops pushed eastward, they encountered fierce resistance from German and Italian forces under the command of Field Marshal Erwin Rommel. The town of El Guettar itself was a small, dusty oasis nestled in the heart of the Tunisian hills, surrounded by ancient olive groves, vineyards, and cactus fields. Its strategic location made it a crucial prize for both the Allies and Axis powers, as it controlled access to the nearby city of Sfax and the port of Gabes. The surrounding countryside was dotted with rocky outcroppings, dry riverbeds, and abandoned villages, which would soon become a battleground littered with the wreckage of war. As the Allies advanced, they faced numerous challenges, including treacherous terrain, limited supplies, and a determined enemy. On February 14, 1943, American forces launched a reconnaissance in force against the Axis lines, which was repelled with heavy losses. This initial clash set the tone for the battles to come, as both sides dug in for a long and bloody fight. The events leading up to the Battle of El Guettar were marked by a series of skirmishes and probing attacks, as both sides tested each other's defenses and prepared for the main event. The Allies were determined to drive the Axis powers out of North Africa, while Rommel's forces were fighting a desperate rearguard action to delay the inevitable. Key figures played important roles in shaping the battle. General George S. Patton, commander of the U.S. II Corps, was tasked with pushing through the Axis lines and capturing the strategic town of Gafsa, a key gateway to the Tunisian interior. Meanwhile, Rommel's forces were busy fortifying their positions in the hills and valleys surrounding El Guettar, preparing for what they knew would be a fierce battle. The battle's precursor events have laid bare the strategic stakes and the complex web of military and political considerations that drove the Allied and Axis forces to converge on this small, yet pivotal town. As the Allies launched their assault on the Axis lines, they faced a daunting task. The terrain around El Guettar was treacherous, with rocky outcroppings, dry riverbeds, and abandoned villages, providing ample cover for enemy forces. The Axis powers had also heavily fortified their positions, with extensive networks of trenches, bunkers, and minefields designed to slow the Allied advance. Despite these challenges, Patton's forces pushed forward with determination and grit. On March 23, 1943, the U.S. II Corps launched a reconnaissance in force against the Axis lines, probing for weaknesses in the enemy's defenses. This initial clash was marked by intense fighting, as both sides exchanged artillery fire and infantry assaults. One of the key events during this period was the capture of the strategic town of Gafsa, which fell to Allied forces on March 17, 1943. This victory provided a crucial boost to morale and paved the way for further advances into Axis-held territory. The town's capture also gave the Allies control over the nearby airfield, allowing them to establish a forward operating base and launch more effective air support operations against enemy positions. As the battle raged on, both sides suffered heavy casualties. The U.S. 1st Infantry Division, in particular, bore the brunt of the fighting, with its soldiers facing intense machine gun fire, artillery bombardments, and counterattacks from determined Axis troops. Despite these challenges, the Allies continued to push forward, driven by their determination to drive the Axis powers out of North Africa. On March 28, 1943, Patton's forces launched a major assault on the Axis lines, aiming to break through the enemy's defenses and capture the strategic town of El Guettar. The fighting was fierce, with both sides trading artillery fire, small arms, and tank attacks. The U.S. 1st Armored Division played a key role in this battle, with its M4 Sherman tanks providing crucial firepower against enemy strongpoints. As General Patton himself noted, the Battle of El Guettar was one of the most intense and bloody fights of the North African campaign. Our troops showed remarkable courage and determination, pushing forward against overwhelming odds to secure a vital victory. This quote encapsulates the spirit of the Allied forces during this period, as they fought tirelessly to overcome the Axis powers and secure a crucial victory. The battle's outcome was far from certain, with both sides suffering heavy losses. However, by April 3, 1943, the Allies had finally broken through the Axis lines, capturing El Guettar and securing a vital strategic victory. The battle marked a significant turning point in the North African campaign, as the Axis powers began to withdraw from the region, ultimately leading to their defeat in May 1943. The bravery and determination of the Allied forces, coupled with their strategic leadership, ultimately secured a vital victory that would shape the course of World War II. As the Axis powers retreated from El Guettar, they left behind a trail of destruction and chaos. The town itself was heavily damaged, with many buildings reduced to rubble and infrastructure severely impaired. The surrounding countryside was also scarred, with cratered roads, destroyed bridges, and abandoned military equipment littering the landscape. Despite these challenges, the Allied forces pressed on, driven by their determination to drive the Axis powers out of North Africa. On May 13, 1943, the Allies launched a final assault on the remaining Axis positions in Tunisia, marking the beginning of the end of the North African campaign. The Axis powers, led by General Hans-Jürgen von Arnim, put up fierce resistance, but ultimately they were unable to withstand the Allied onslaught. On May 13, 1943, the Axis powers surrendered, marking the end of the North African campaign. The surrender was a significant victory for the Allies, with over 230,000 Axis troops captured or killed during the campaign. The liberation of North Africa also paved the way for the Allied invasion of Italy and ultimately the D-Day landings in Normandy. The Battle of El Guettar played a crucial role in the Allied victory in North Africa. The battle marked a significant turning point in the campaign as the Axis powers began to withdraw from the region. The bravery and determination of the Allied forces, coupled with their strategic leadership, ultimately secured a vital victory that would shape the course of World War II. In the years following the war, the Battle of El Guettar was largely forgotten, overshadowed by more prominent battles such as Stalingrad and Normandy. However, in recent years, there has been a growing recognition of the battle's significance, with historians and military strategists re-evaluating its importance in the context of the North African campaign. Today, the town of El Guettar is a thriving community with a rich history and culture. The battle is commemorated by a small museum, which houses artifacts and exhibits detailing the events surrounding the engagement. Visitors can also see the remains of the original battlefield, including trenches, bunkers, and other military fortifications. The bravery and determination of the Allied forces, coupled with their strategic leadership, ultimately secured a vital victory that would have far-reaching consequences for the outcome of the war. The battle's legacy serves as a testament to the enduring spirit of courage and sacrifice that defined the Allied effort during World War II. In the words of General Dwight D. Eisenhower, the Battle of El Guettar was a significant milestone in the North African campaign, marking a major turning point in the war against the Axis powers. This quote encapsulates the significance of the battle, highlighting its importance in the context of the larger conflict. As we reflect on the Battle of El Guettar, we're reminded of the power of human courage and determination in the face of overwhelming odds. The battle's legacy serves as a powerful reminder of the sacrifices made by the Allied forces during World War II and the enduring impact of their bravery on the course of history. That's all for today's War Bios. Remember to like, share, and subscribe, and until next time, I'm General Biography reminding you to keep marching toward victory.